Wait till it builds up to where.
I just want to be able to like pull it. Yeah.
Yeah. If I were
These are my new
you,
earrings.
if I were, oh, hey Ronnie, watch magic.
Presto.
We're nothing up my sleeve.
Hey, Rocky.
Watch me
Watch
pull
me
a
pull a rabbit
rabbit
out of
out
the
of my
hat.
hat. Hey,
Nothing up
boo
the sleeve.
boo.
Presto.
Good morning. Oh, shoot. I'm not even. All rise.
Oh. Is it?
We're not really supposed to be funny before at least we do this part.
Oh, dang. Hold on. I didn't even know we were on yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I forgot to let you know. You could have said anything there and got away with it.
Yeah.
Okay, once again, all rise. Welcome to Mass. You know, if you're not sure what Sunday morning Mass is all about, the Mass part is not so much a pomp and circumstance event as it is Men Are So Smart, the acronym. So we call it Sunday morning Mass. We used to have like a church behind us, background kind of thing. You all know what it is.
Which I thought was pretty great. That was a great background, by the way.
Oh, God, I had about 100 of them. I just saw one yesterday that when I was doing some research. I just saw one yesterday. Welcome to Men Are So Smart. Please be seated, okay? That was multicolored. Remember? Because we used to get kind of grim.
It was very, it was subdued.
For sure. Yeah, I saw one yesterday. I thought, wow, that would be great, but I just wasn't in the mood. And now, a reading from the book of Bro, according to Shaquille Broneal.
Uh-oh, hold on. What the hell's going on here?
We're on.
Yeah.
Bros don't smell one another.
Oh.
On purpose.
Oh, that's a good call.
This is one I firmly believe in, or I wouldn't pass it along to you. Because really, the whole purpose of doing this segment is for you, our viewer.
It's an educational. It's like a public service.
Yes, exactly, Ronnie. Thank you for having my back.
It's a PSA.
And finally, this morning, a bro, and this is important. So if you were just kind of paying attention, you should be fully paying attention right now. A bro shall never engage in any sexual activity with a girl bro.
Ooh.
Do you have an idea of what a girl bro is? I think you do. You've had a few of those, haven't you?
They could be like your work wife.
Or that could be one, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Depending on what you guys talk about, you know.
Exactly. Or it could just be a best friend girl, I think.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the point is you don't ever step over that line.
That's taboo right there.
Ooh, especially if she hangs with your friends.
Ooh.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Okay, and so this has been a reading from the Book of Bros according to Shaquille Broneal. Once again, welcome to our show. Ronnie, what's going on with you today?
You know what? Not much. We had a big day yesterday. We went out to the new Nugget Market and checked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
A Nugget Market is like a super upscale grocery store, basically.
I can't get past the word nugget.
Yeah, it is. It is strange, but
especially if you know what a nugget is.
Matt McGrew told me that his dad worked at Nugget Market for like over 60 years, I think.
Holy jamoli.
Yeah, and then Tisha said that their son also worked at Nugget. So
no way.
But it's yep. So, but it's a beautiful store. It's out in West Roseville,
and a beautiful story.
Yeah,
it is, Ron.
So we were just out burning gas yesterday, and we decided we'd go do that. Hey, in the chat room today, Melanie first in.
She's the coolest.
I'll tell you, Melanie, you got it this morning. You win the prize. Katie's here.
Hi, Katie. Good
Randy
morning.
Randy
Who?
Brazil's here. Randy.
Randy. Good to have you.
I
Randy's in a
think he missed
transition.
last week.
He missed last week.
I don't remember him being here. If he was here, he's very quiet.
Huh.
And then Jason's here.
Mm-hmm.
Tisha, Vicky is here, or Tisha and Vicky are here. Sakar is here. Let me see. Oh, if I can figure out who else is here. It's not scrolling, so maybe I'm not in a good spot. Let me scroll down a little bit. Well, we've got 9 watching, so that's probably just about everybody so far.
So coming up in 2 months, my wife and I will be together in marriage for 30 years.
Dang. Is that in dog years, or how are you calculating that?
Oh, well, there is a calculation. I'm glad you asked, and that's this. Out of the 30 years, 14 have been happy and not in a row.
Well, I'll give you that.
All right. So,
yeah.
The missus and I have been trying to come up with a plan in spite of the corona.
Right.
Not to make a long story short, but we have a Indian casino to the north of us, up Highway 16 in California, out of Sacramento. It's called Cache Creek. And that was one of my counts in the welding supply business. I supplied a lot of stuff, not the least of which was helium, but welding gases, et cetera, for their maintenance department. But here's the thing. I loved that place.
Oh, really?
It is so beautiful, Ron. On every side, it's like a picture postcard. And it's in a valley, and you can see some brown on the hillsides, but all this luscious green of their golf course that spreads out across all of the property. I mean, it's virtually in every picture you would take. So Teresa's never been there, and I thought, well, what better way for us to get away to a new place, maybe start a newer tradition, which isn't that far, but still just far enough.
Right.
Do you know that I put in trying to get a room yesterday's date, and all the way through July 31st, and they don't have one booking?
Wow.
Till July, I don't know, 31st I looked. I can't even get one room, Ronnie. Do they not know who I am?
Apparently they don't know who they're messing with here.
Can't you do something, Ron? Can't you arrest somebody or something?
You know what? I could, but I don't want to abuse my power.
Well, if there ever was a time for you to reach into your Corvette Ronnie bag of tricks, this is it.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to have to save it for a greater cause.
Like what? What could be a greater cause?
Well, and I wonder if it's mainly because they're like setting aside every other room or something. If they're not using them, they may have a shortage of rooms. They may be blocking off every other floor. Now, I've heard through the grapevine and my channels,
You're not helping.
That on April 1st, we're going to move into a less restrictive tier.
Yeah.
So things may open up a little bit then. That might be your best opportunity. But I think, yeah, you may be stuck this year doing something a little bit more or less romantic than getting a room out of town.
Well, I could get us a place near the bowling alley, and
which is nice. That no doubt about it. That is nice.
Well, I just want to make sure it looks like I'm making an effort.
Well, you know what? I would not give her an ironing board this year.
Are you going to start giving out tips? Should I write these down?
Unless she completely wore her old one out that you gave her last year, but that's not likely.
No, she hasn't been ironing enough.
They never do. Vicky has not. I don't think she's ever ironed anything.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. When I need something ironed, I do it myself. It's from my bachelor days. I iron my shirts. I don't like my shirts to look like I've slept in them. And so, not my t-shirts, of course, but that's okay if it looks like I slept in them. But my dress
And they do.
shirts, yes, which is okay. I'm okay with that.
You got that going for you.
Yeah, which is
Which
nice.
is nice.
Which is nice.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I can't find our
So,
show on YouTube as hard as
oh,
I've
I
tried.
got it. Yeah, I've got it up.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that means
Randy says he was here last week, in and out. He
oh,
was off and on.
in and out. I could go for that
Yep.
right now.
Oh boy. Kathy Garcia's here. Good morning, Kathy.
You know,
Oh, and UK Paul Paul.
oh, good. He came back this weekend. That's awesome.
And he says, hello, lads.
He
Hello,
must,
Chop.
he must be talking to you. You look like a lad. You look just like a lad.
Vicky says, Ronnie irons for me. Yes, I do. If she has something, and very rarely does she have something that needs to be ironed, but I have, like, when we're going out and I've got the ironing board out, she'll go, could you do this for me real quick? Absolutely. I know how to iron.
Does she ever say anything like, iron this bitch?
No, no.
No.
Well, not yet.
No,
Now
you
that,
say.
that may come into play. We'll see. Next time I have the ironing board out, we'll see if that's up.
Oh, Lord, Ronnie.
See if it's on the table or not.
Okay. We're doing pretty well in our statistics, our analytics. I wanted to share with everybody. You know, Jason and I had a conversation this last week. Did you know? Did I tell you this?
You did. You guys were FaceTiming for quite a while.
At least an hour and 15 minutes or so. And we talked about everything. And one of the things he brought up about this little program is that I had it set so that people who looked at our channel could not see how many subscribers we had.
Okay.
And the reason for that, Ronnie, came about really early on in our existence as a program. And it was really embarrassing when we'd have this post of a brand new show and the excitement that would go along with that. And didn't we have premieres for a couple of weeks? You know,
Yep.
Yeah, coming up on Friday, a brand new show of Men Are So Smart. Anyway, the point of this is, if I can even get through it, he said, you don't show how many subscribers you have. And I think if people saw that, they might think, well, we need to get them to 1,000.
Oh.
And
Well, he might be onto something, Jason.
I don't really think that clicking over and showing how many subs we have is going to make that much difference. Maybe 5 or 10, you know, which probably would not be bad, Ronnie, because right now we are sitting steady for about 5 days now at 670 subscribers.
Boy, I'd love to reach that 1,000 plateau. Yep.
All right, I've got an idea.
Okay. I got idea.
I got an idea. Look into my eyes. Those of you. Can you see me? I'm over here. Turn this way. You can see me better. No, the other way. Right, yeah. Turn like that.
Oh, there we go.
No, you.
Wait.
You need to subscribe to our show. It's very important. To who? I don't know. YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, definitely YouTube.
Okay, and you know, while you're there, like the show as well. Okay, we've been doing pretty well on those as well. I still can't find today's show.
Well, I thought we had you for a second there, but maybe not.
I got an idea. Where did it go? Come on. There we go.
Did you look behind the couch?
I'd like to introduce somebody to the. Oh no, she's going the wrong way.
Uh,
There's a very good chance, and I have not solicited for this attention. Here she comes. Can you jeer her?
Yep.
Come here. All
Oh.
right.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
Ooh, she smells good.
Ow. Ow. Oh, she's happy.
Okay. All right. Enough of the cat. I have found our show. We are good to go. And let's see. The next topic I wanted to get to is Ron.
I'm here.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, I got something I got to say. We've been in this corona environment, lockdown, for over a year now. Over 500,000 deaths. Is that correct?
Something
Over
like
550,000 deaths. People have been locked up. And I don't mean in jail cells. I mean in their own homes with core rights on the line. And stop, cat. I know I hear you. Can you imagine when we finally get to go out, how many people are going to be looking for love? Think about it.
In all the wrong places?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be, well, if there was ever a time in history where guys should be able to find girls, it's going to be when they live that lockdown.
It's the frickin' 70s again. It's free love. Yeah.
I'm concerned. I don't know why. I guess maybe because I'm jealous. I don't know.
1 year from now,
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of babies.
Right.
And you know what's funny is, whatever our local news we were watching, I can't remember which channel it was, but we were watching, and they were showing how Folsom has kind of opened up. They blocked off Sutter Street, and it's open for foot traffic. And they said it's, are people concerned that it's too soon, and people are still wearing a mask and they're doing things, but a lot of things in Folsom have opened up to foot traffic on Sutter Street. Well, I'm here to tell you, we went through there in Christmas time when my daughter was here with the grandbaby and her husband. Everything was open. Not restaurants. You can't eat in restaurants. And actually, a couple of them were set up. There's one of our favorite Chinese food restaurants called, I'm not going to give their name because I don't want to burn them here, but they allowed indoor dining, but they were only 4 tables, one in each corner of the restaurant. So you could not be more socially distant. And Vicky and I did it because I was pining for some indoor dining.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, absolutely. We had eaten at Scott's, but it was outside. Scott's
It's the
seafood restaurant.
wintertime here in California too. It's it's not a comfy 80 degrees outside. It's more like 60.
Yeah. So I don't know, everybody's losing their head a little bit that things are opening up and it's going crazy and people are, losing their masks and what have you. In fact, I saw something the other day on YouTube and people were so triggered by it. A bunch of people had a mask burning, and absolutely, if you probably can find it on YouTube, a mask burning event, and you will read the comments and people are losing their minds over it. Oh no, it's going to spike again and we're going to be right back where we were.
Well, look who their leader is, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
Fauci or whatever the hell his name is.
And look at his leader. We won't go there. David Paisano says, as far as the free love goes, the most successful pickup line, hey baby, I've had the vaccine. Yeah.
All right, we'll go there.
Yeah, that's gonna get you lucky for sure.
Maybe we could have people put it on a name tag. When you go out, your name, Lou Gallagher, COVID survivor. I've had
How
my
about
2 shots.
how about a green name tag if you've had the vaccine and a red name tag if you haven't? Seems simple enough.
I seem to
Because I don't like to get caught up in the name. Names they don't matter to me that much.
Well, I just think you're feeding the fraudulent schemes if you do that. I have a concern. I've made it pretty clear here that I'm not for this vaccination. Now, I don't consider myself to be an influencer, so what I do should not affect anything that you do or anything that you believe. I'm not trying to sway you or have you go one way or another, which is rather redundant, but my point is this. I have 2 grandsons, and one lives here with us. So, provided, that any of us had COVID, he would have a chance of getting it. Although for a time they said that younger kids don't get it, and then they said they do. The other thing is that we have a second grandson who lives here in town, and because he's asthmatic, we're not able to have face-to-face anything more than face-to-face with social distancing in mind.
Right.
But my question is, in order to see him, am I going to need proof of that I've had the shot? Now, I'm not saying his parents, my son and his wife, are politically on one side or the other. I'm just saying that there is this to consider. Am I going to, at some point, have to go and get my shots in order to be able to see my grandson? I'm going to throw that out there this morning. My first grandson.
What if that grandson were to get vaccinated, or is he already?
I can't answer that. I don't know, Ronnie. It would be purely speculation. So what are people saying? Oh wow.
I think that if I'm not vaccinated yet, and I kind of fall into one category. First responders could get vaccinated early on, but I'm only working 1 or 2 days a week, so I'm not really a full-time first responder. So I was going to leave what limited amount of vaccine there is for actual full-time first responders. So I'm not vaccinated yet. But when it comes around, I'll get the vaccination when they open it up a little bit more. I don't feel like I'm particularly vulnerable. I'm about as healthy now as I've been in my whole life. So, and it's run through our department. There's been probably, I don't know, 400 or 500 people in our department, and we have a large department, but 400 or 500 people maybe have had it, and only 2 of those people were even hospitalized, and nobody died. So, whatever strain is, in our area, or maybe if just people of our age are healthy enough to get past it. I've got my friend Ed. I don't know if you know Ed Reed very well.
I know his name.
They moved to Colorado, and he came down with it 100% asymptomatic. Never knew he had it. He just got tested because he was going to go work at the polls for voting, which he volunteers for every year. And it's a lot of older folks there, and he wanted to make sure he didn't have it because his daughter-in-law is in the medical field. And sure enough, he had it.
Wow.
Did not know. Never had a fever. Never had anything. 100% asymptomatic. So, I just don't know how many people out there have had it and didn't even know they had it, and probably are not very likely to get it again. There's a lot of what ifs regarding this thing, and like I've said before, this virus is not going to go away. It just mutates, and you can't lock down the world forever.
No. And as hard as we try, half the people are going to want it and half the people aren't. That's just the
Right.
way things go. But in my particular situation, I feel like I'm going to be subjected to, I'm going to be forced to make a decision. And I don't like to be forced into things.
Yep.
Let's see.
Well, I know we have a young granddaughter, and I certainly, although she's super healthy, and I'm not too concerned if she were to get it, but I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be patient zero in my family that spreads it to my in-laws, or even I don't want to spread it at my workplace. My workplace has been pretty good. We've had a couple people that had it, and they quarantine them for 2 weeks, and then they come back to work. And we've had two little cases of it at my workplace. So, but in the county, by and large, we've had a pretty good percentage of people that had it. So,
all right. Well, there's our take on the COVID vaccination. Randy Brazil says, "Hey, baby, I quarantined for 15 days before this one night stand." Pickup lines. Katie says, "Don't be a guinea pig." These are not, I mean, again, I'm not influencing anybody to say anything anyway. But our live chat is a big part of our show. Vinny Stack says, "I was praying for it to be over ASAP." Yeah, the same thing holds true for our wedding anniversary. That's in May, and that's not that far away. And we're doing our due diligence. I mean, we're looking way ahead of the date.
yeah.
And Memorial Day is in May too, which is
Yep.
our anniversary, if I remember correctly.
Well, I'll tell you, my biggest thing is August. I want everything open by August because obviously I miss hot August nights so bad.
Yeah.
And our anniversary comes up at the end of June. So there's another thing that's kind of right in the same area that it would be nice if everything were open.
David Paisano says having the vaccine does not ensure that you are not carrying the virus. It is more important that that the person you want to see has had the vaccine and immunity. See, that's another thing that's questionable. In my specific instance, I haven't been exposed to a lot of people.
Right.
The physical therapy staff at the med center where I go, and my family for the most part, and I guess occasionally maybe a gas station, which you have to wear a mask anyway. But my point, I think I had the virus. And as I recall, it was the last week, it was like New Year of 2020.
Yep.
It was like the first week. And I remember that I got really sick, and I had just been given my 1 week's allotment for sick days. And in the very first week of the year,
you're burning them.
I had to burn 4 sick days. I was so sick.
Yep.
And no one knew what was going on. And I believe we wrote it off as the flu.
Right.
So what I'm saying, again, in my specific case, I'm not around that many people. So there really hasn't been a sick day that I've had since. I haven't had a fever or temperature. I haven't had any symptoms, a cough, or, all the 50 goddamn questions you got to answer when you go anywhere.
Yep.
So my point is, do I have to get the shot? Well, have I had the disease? Who is responsible? Is it you? Ultimately, it is. But at the same time, it's got to be your decision. You can't be forced into it.
Yeah, I certainly, I tend to, and this just is me in general. I'm kind of quite the optimist, and so I downplay a lot of things. And among those is this virus. I've downplayed it. I've not been careful at all. I don't wash my hands any more often than I ever do. Um, I I only wear my mask where I have to wear it, which is inside a store. Um, I've I work with dozens of people that I don't know what they do on their off days. Um, and when we're at work, we have a gaiter that we wear, but I use it mainly to keep my neck warm. So I'm not using it as a mask at work because by and large, I'm not around a lot of people. I'm around my fellow employees and a few people from the work from Bureau of Reclamation from Folsom Dam. So I've not been careful. I mean, I've kind of thrown caution to the wind, and I've either had it and didn't know it, or I didn't catch it. I don't know, but you would think that if you're not being careful, you might come down with it, but I don't know. And like I said, maybe it's my optimistic attitude that's, gotten me up past all that. I just always think that, oh, that's never going to happen to me. And for the most part, nothing has ever happened to me.
All right, let's shift gears here this morning, Ronnie, and get to, do we want to do Mantasy Draft or do we want to do what we promised last week, which was ways music has changed in the last 50 years?
You know what? Maybe we could throw this out real quick. We could throw out what the Mantasy Draft is,
Okay.
and then have people put some suggestions in the chat.
Well, we're halfway into the show at this point, so we're going to have to move along.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So the Mantasy Draft is going to be Irish things. Irish things. With St. Patrick's Day coming up in about, 10 days? 10 days. We thought we would bring up some Irish things, and that will be our Mantasy Draft. You know how that works. Few cultural forces are more powerful than music. I remember as a teenager, life was inside my head was really hard, and music was the only thing that soothed the beast. Over the past 50 years, music has inspired fans and made artists into rock stars. It has served as the soundtrack for movies and cultural revolutions. It has compelled the masses to dance, beatbox, headbang, and mosh. Ronnie, you're a mosher from way back, aren't you?
Oh, way back when. Oh, yeah.
I thought so.
Love me a mosh pit.
Yeah. Yep. You see mosh, you're all over that. Can't you arrest somebody, Ronnie, to get me a room? I mean, seriously. It's not that much to ask. It's one room at an Indian casino hotel.
I can definitely get you a room. I can arrest you, and then you can get a room in a jail, and it's decent. The meals are, green bologna is really underrated, I think, if you ask me.
I think my wife is a fan of the green bologna.
Just throwing that out there, that's a possibility. I could do that.
Sure. Maybe we could get separate cells.
Maybe. Best anniversary ever.
I think I better move on right now. All right. Let's see. First of all, I'm going to take you back to Woodstock. Woodstock, the most famous festival in the history of American music, took place from August 15th to the 18th of the year 1969, Ron, on a dairy farm in Bethel, New York. The event, which drew nearly 500,000 revelers. No one was prepared for that. No one. It was the zenith of the 1960s counterculture era and the crowning achievement of the hippie movement. The biggest acts of the era paid homage to the mud and pot-soaked festival goers with performances by artists such as Janis Joplin, The Pearl, The Grateful Dead, Santana, The Who,
where?
Creedence Clearwater Revival, Jimi Hendrix, and Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young.
All icons. Some of them were not virtual unknowns, but some of them were very early on in their musical his careers, and you know, it turned them immediately into superstars.
And just imagine, there was no social media.
Just imagine had the Prunes played at that.
Well, uh, there was a
I was only
chance.
12, but
I didn't tell you, but we just could not really close that deal. We tried. The Traveling Atomic Prunes would have been, well, it would have been Creedence, Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, and then the Prunes.
right.
So,
I think we'd been there. I was actually playing in a band when I was 12 years old.
were you
believe it or
really?
not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I take that back. No, it was seventh grade. I was in a band in seventh grade, not sixth grade. Yep.
Okay, all right. The year was 1970, my friend. And the year was more than just the chronological end to the 60s. It was the end of one of the most consequential eras in the history of music. The Beatles broke up in 1970. Some other defining 60s acts like the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, and Led Zeppelin became less accessible, touring in jets, being rock stars. And we were loving every minute of that, I can tell you. Let's see. Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix died in the 70s, all at age 27.
Yep.
You know,
can you imagine?
Yeah,
Can you imagine? Because there's a possibility the three of them could still be alive. I want to say, did they all die of overdose? I know Jimi Hendrix, not overdose, but I think Jimmy choked on his own vomit or something. And but basically, I think all three of them were drug-related deaths. Could you imagine if the three of them were still alive? They might still be playing at Thunder Valley Casino. You know, like, God, we saw Fats Domino there a couple summers ago, and we saw Leon Russell, and you know, you see some of the old acts that just come back, and I've seen you and I saw the Beach Boys.
right.
There's an act from before those guys were even famous. Beach Boys have been around since the early 60s, and you know, they're still, although now it's the Beach Boys and their boys, but you know,
This
a lot of
Sunday.
these old bands are still, yeah.
This Sunday, Jim Morrison performs at Cache Creek Casino. And Lou and Teresa are there thanks to Ron. He arrested someone. Callback jokes are the best. What are people saying on the chats here?
So David Pisano said redheads doing a clogging dance is a very Irish thing.
Oh yeah,
river dance. I had not thought about that.
Is that Irish or is that Scottish?
I think it's Irish thing. I think. Yeah. And then somebody had said, green beer. I think that may have been Melanie.
Corned beef and cabbage, which is on my list.
Yeah, it didn't make my list. I have a little bit more mainstream Irish things.
I think I got
although all the corned beef and cabbage is pretty mainstream.
I think
if you're at the jail on St. Patrick's Day, they do 100% serve corned beef and cabbage. I've eaten it when I worked at the jail. They also serve turkey on Thanksgiving, so you get that. Good reason to end up in jail on Thanksgiving.
Well, you know, you pound the crap out of your brother. You fall down the stairs drunk, and you get a great meal. It just seems like a perfect day, doesn't it?
Best Thanksgiving
ever. I'm switching to a backup phone here. Setting up device. No, I don't want to set up device. Thank you very much. No, I don't choose what happens. Nothing. Just charge. Okay. Sorry.
Melanie says the last concert she saw before COVID was Boss Skaggs. He was awesome. You and I took the ladies out to see Boss Skaggs a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I was a little bit disappointed in his concert, honestly. He didn't do a couple of the songs, like he didn't do Harbor Lights,
which is one of my favorites.
Might be my favorite, absolute favorite Boss Skaggs tune ever. And I think his voice is probably not what it was. He doesn't have the same range that he had early on. And so I was slightly disappointed, but I'm a huge Boss Skaggs fan. I love me some Boss Skaggs for sure.
Tisha says last concert for us was Boss Skaggs. Still have tickets for a date postponed in Tahoe. I remember that. Those guys are big fans.
Are they?
Yeah.
Tisha and Matt?
Yep.
Yeah. He's amazing, and his band was amazing. And he had a really great guitar player. And in fact, didn't he have a guitar player opening up for him, like a solo acoustic guitar guy?
When we went?
Yeah. I can't remember if it was that. It was another concert that Vicky and I saw at the Radisson.
I don't think so, Ronnie. And, I don't get that drunk anymore, ever. So it can't be that. But I don't remember anybody playing.
Well, and it was the first time that I remember ever seeing anybody play a guitar, acoustic guitar, where they use the guitar as like a drum.
Oh, right.
Where they tap the guitar also.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, wow, that's pretty innovative. And now I've seen 1,000 people do it, but he probably did it the best.
Your wife comments there at the bottom.
Oh, Boss Skaggs' best concert ever was at Jackson Rancherio, 8th row center.
Man.
Yep.
Remember those days when it was so important to be in the front row, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the Tubes, which very few people here are going to remember.
Right, but I bet it was in Davis.
No.
No?
It was at the Stockton Memorial Auditorium. And I was drunk out of my mind. And I was absolutely front row. And
For
I
the
think
Tubes.
I may have told this. Yeah, for the Tubes. And I think I may have told this story before.
Hell, go for it.
The very last song they did was White Punks on Dope. And their singer's name was Fee Waybill.
That's it.
And he came out wearing a chrome jock strap and chrome 1 foot tall platform shoes.
Boy, he was way ahead of his time.
He really was.
Remember the Super Bowl halftime show?
True.
Just missing chrome jocks.
And so during the very last note of the song, everybody on stage, all the performers, the whole band is jumping up and down, and all of a sudden and they had a wall. I'm talking about maybe 50 gigantic amplifiers. That was a wall of sound, and they came falling down, and they landed on top of Fee Waybill, and suddenly the music just stopped, and there was like screaming from the stage. And then they just closed the curtains. And I was with my friend, what's his name? Herb Jackson. And I was way drunker than Herb. And I go, oh my God, Fee just died. He's dead. And he goes, that's how they close every show.
Oh, they sucked you in.
Oh, damn.
They sucked you in, Ronnie.
Yeah. Fish on.
Fish
on. Got me.
Yep.
They got me.
Okay, let's see. Everybody's talking about gambling and money that they've won now. Tisha says, we were at that show in Jackson Rancheria, won $3,000.
Oh, damn.
And your wife
that pays for them tickets.
Your wife went, cute.
3,000? Nice try.
Cute.
That's her seed money, basically.
Right. That's what she goes up there. and green stamps. She goes up there with $5,000 and some green stamps. Hey, boo boo. Katie says they used to have great shows, but the Rona.
Yeah.
The Rona. My God. Are we this susceptible? Really?
Thunder Valley had really probably 4 or 5 really good shows every year.
Yeah, they got Jim Morrison this coming up, I think.
We have seen Chicago there. We've seen Sammy Hagar there. We've seen REO Speedwagon. We've seen Styx. We've seen Alice Cooper. Saw Leon Russell. Saw Greg Allman. I've seen some of the most amazing concerts at Thunder Valley. And of course, this last year, nothing.
David Paisanos asks, how's the recall on Newsome going? Well,
I think they got 1.9 million signatures, which is more than they actually need. But
well,
I think they're going.
The next step is he asks for verification on all of those names.
Right, which is why they want the more than they need.
Right.
So,
I'm all for it. I'm just waiting for one of the signups to be close enough to me. I want him recalled, but I don't want it to be inconvenient for me.
Can you send somebody to my house?
I keep looking every time the doorbell rings because over here the Amazon UPS guy is here all the time. FedEx guy, he gets a snack. He comes in and gets a snack out of the fridge. And then he closes the door behind him and locks it. I still don't to this day know how he does that.
Well, don't question. Just go with the flow.
The other day I just said, how's the grilled cheese? Fine. It's good. 1.9 million, including mine, says Melanie. Whoops. Sorry, I'm doing my best.
It's Melanie.
No, she doesn't want me to worry about that.
Okay.
Love Tower of Power. Can I tell a story?
Yep. Yeah.
I'll do it real quick.
Okay.
Many years ago, I used to work at this nightclub called the Classic Jukebox. And it was a 50s, 60s, and 70s themed bar. And so when you would come there, the cocktail waitresses would all be in cheerleader outfits, and they got cars on the walls and all this. The DJ box looks like a big jukebox. Anyway, we decided that we were going to start doing live music there, and I was the marketing director and events coordinator and the DJ. 3 or 4 nights a week, I can't remember. And we used to book Tower of Power about twice a year for like 3 years. To the point where they'd come to town and the lead singer, whose name was Tommy at that time, the lead singer would say to me, hey, is your sister still single? So anyway, we got to know that band, and here's the part of the story that I wanted to share. When they come to your venue, they freaking rock the place.
They bring it.
The power that's emitted from that horn section goes down. It reaches deep down inside you, and it grabs your heart to the point where you go, I'm with you for the whole show.
I just got chills.
And now you're dancing on every single song. The band is dancing and they're committed, and then they go, thank you, good night, everybody, and they go off stage, all 13 of them. And that place was still emitting so much energy. It was like this low, thunderous roar that I had never heard before. And all of a sudden, they send me up on stage and to bring them back up for their encore. And I go up to and I'm not going to get in the middle of all of this energy. I don't want to screw that up for them. They know what they're doing. So I go, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Tower of Power. And you hear them go, da-na-na-na. You're still a young man. And if you could see it, I've got goosebumps right now.
Yep.
You're still a young man. Oh,
You know, so they were my first concert I ever saw, and the bass, I forget what they call it, the bass saxophone player. I don't know, is that a
alto?
bass or a,
No, that's
no, it's a
tenor.
gigantic, no, it's
Oh,
way bigger than an alto and a tenor. The thing's got to be 5 feet tall. It's a gigantic saxophone. And the guy that played it, he would actually dance with that thing up on the stage and spin circles with it during the first concert. And that was in 72. And when they do You're Still a Young Man, there's a phrase in the song where they go,
down
down on
on
my
my
knees,
knees.
and the whole front row, the whole brass section gets down on their knees,
I know. I know.
and then they stand back up.
Oh, it's the
And it's like,
greatest.
oh. So when we went and saw him last year or year before now at Thunder Valley, they don't get down on their knee anymore because I
Oh.
don't think they can get back up.
Well, that's the thing about getting down at this age.
Yes.
You can get down. We can all get down. We just can't get back up. It's just that simple.
They still did the song, but they don't get down on their knee anymore.
Down on my knees. Dun-dun. Yeah.
Yep. Great band.
Paisano says, you have such a great history of rock and roll experiences. Yeah, I've been very fortunate in my lifetime, especially working in the radio business.
Yep.
Which, no, I can't talk about that.
All right. I think, look what time it is. We better hit up our Mantasy Draft.
I'm sorry, Ronnie. I'm right on the fence on saying something right now about radio. I haven't spoken with you about this. Do you know what took place?
No.
My good buddy Joey Mitchell is retiring from doing the morning show.
Wow.
At the radio station where I used to work.
They won't allow him to do it from the old folks' home anymore?
Well, I think he had to give up the bed. And the clipboard that goes with every bed in the hospital. What is that there for? Okay, let's see. I saw Tower of Power, first time Hawaii, 1980 graduation trip. That's your wife.
Yep.
Tisha says they are great at a live concert. Oh my.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, wait. Is there more radio news, or is it?
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and I have merely thrown my hat in the ring for the position. That's all.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. What takes place from this point on will be between the powers that be there. So,
I'll be honest with you. I have not listened to that station since you left. Do they have more than just a morning guy? Do they actually have like an afternoons and a evening guy?
Yeah. It's been remotely done from people's homes.
Okay.
For the most part, I honestly don't know. In my current situation, I'm not listening to a lot of radio, so
right.
I don't have the answer to that. But Tisha says thumbs up, Lou. Thank you, Tisha. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it comes to be.
I might have to start a campaign.
Oh.
But I'll leave that up to you guys. You can contact me, okay?
I'd be starting the recall campaign for you.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
That.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds fair. All right, let's do rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, yeah,
rock, paper, scissors is bitch.
This busy. Let me get this warmed up.
Last week I did this, remember?
You did the Spock.
West Coast.
I think you did this. What you actually put out 3, I think.
I can't see it. Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
You put up a 3 instead of a...
It won because you threw paper, but I cut the crap out of that paper, man. I had me some double scissors going on there. Man, this show is stupid today. Okay, so time for rock, paper, scissors, Shambo. I think I'm ready. Count us down.
Okay. Hold on. All right, ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, throw. Oh man.
Okay.
Again. All right.
Rock beats scissors. I'll go
Yeah.
first, and we'll do this rather quickly, I think. All right,
Yes.
Ronnie. And we today our Mantasy Draft is Irish things, and I am gonna go first, and I'm going to pick my drunk Uncle Bob.
Oh, that's solid. Drunk Uncle Bob.
If
Bab.
that ain't Irish, he's got
Yeah.
red hair.
Or as they say in Boston, you drunk Uncle Bob.
Bab. Hey, Bab.
Bab.
All right, Ronnie, you get 2 picks. Go.
I'm gonna go with probably my favorite Irish thing, and this is the most Irish thing ever. I'm gonna go with Lucky Charms.
Good one.
They're
That's a good
magically
pick.
delicious.
They are. I don't dispute that.
Yep.
Props to you.
And Irish Spring.
Soap. Oh, Ron.
Yeah.
God dang, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's strong enough for a man.
I think, though, it's made for a
but
woman.
I like it too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I like it too. Okay, I'm going to go corned beef and cabbage.
Okay.
And I'm going to go leprechaun. I have my drunk Uncle Bob, corned beef and cabbage, and a drunk leprechaun.
All right. Well, I think the only logical choice left. Thank you, the Irish people, for bringing us green beer.
I'm not a fan of the green.
Green beer. Okay. All right.
Ronnie, have you ever drank the green beer?
Oh, I have. Yeah.
If you drink enough of it, the next morning you pee green. It's kind of scary.
They served it at the Graduate. I don't know if you ever went to the Graduate.
Oh, yeah, many times.
They served it St. Patrick's Day or near St. Patrick's Day at the Graduate. So I had my share. Okay. Jason says Lou for the win. So there's your first vote.
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Don't forget NASCAR today. It'll be on at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time. It's from Las Vegas. It's 267 laps. Let's see what else. Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
God dang, that'd be a good place to see a race too. I bet it's beautiful there right now.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yep. Okay, so I got one vote from Vince solely based on the Lucky Charms. So thank you, Vince.
I voted for you based on the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, so right now it's even up. We got one each. We got 18 people in here, so I'm expecting a few more votes.
We need them.
Katie says Lou.
Thank you, Katie.
Let's recap.
All right.
Lou picked drunk Uncle Bob.
Mm-hmm. These are all Irish things. Corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah, corned beef and cabbage, and the leprechaun. I went with the more traditional Lucky Charms, Irish Spring, and green beer.
Those are 2 solid teams right there.
That's Clash of the Titans.
I know many of you know my Uncle Bob.
Cereal aisle, the soap aisle, and the beer aisle. Those are my. I'm from. It's still at the grocery store.
Ronnie never leaves the grocery store. That's funny.
I got 2 more. Rave Rider and Kathy Garcia both went with Lou. It's 4-1.
Thank you to both of you guys. Rave Rider, good to have you here. Thank you.
Come on, peeps. Come on now. Lucky Charms. Who can vote against Lucky Charms? Seriously?
Well, you know what I'm eating right now? Cocoa Krispies. I mean, not right this second, but that's the cereal that I have right now. Cocoa Krispies.
I think actually we're out of Cocoa Krispies right now. We're stuck with Captain Crunch. So if we ever do a nautical thing,
Cray Lambert going.
Thank you, Cray, because of the green beer. Oh, and Rick Clemenson also went with me. What's 4-3? I'm closing it in.
Now look, Kathy Garcia says message retracted.
Ooh.
I think that was a Lou vote. Why would she retract her vote? I need to know.
Oh, well. Oh, look at this.
Okay.
Now Vicky gave me one. Okay. Da-da-da. It's all tied up. It's 4-4. Lucky Charms with beer. With beer. Breakfast of Champions.
Ugh.
Breakfast of Irish Champions.
That sounds horrible. Yeah. All right, quickly, we got to get out of here. It's 9:00. We've been on the air for an hour.
We got to break this tie.
Yeah.
It's 4-4.
All right, it comes down to the next vote. Don't vote twice.
Couple more people get in there. Who will it be?
That wasn't me.
Oh, and I have to give a shout out. My son's birthday is going to be March 9th, Tuesday.
Vinny Stacks, happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah.
My daughter's birthday was yesterday.
Oh, check that out. UK Paul
Mm-hmm.
just went with a Ron. It's 5-4. Whoo!
UK.
Come from behind victory. Yep. Wow, how about that?
I really thought my drunk Uncle Bob would win it for me.
He's not done you any favors this time, apparently.
He's Irish and he has red hair. Don't you people know?
Oh, check this out though. David Pisano, just throw in a Lou.
Oh no,
it's
we're tied up
5-5 again. 5-5.
Okay. Oh, okay, Larry says Ronnie. Oh, Paul says Lou. He voted twice. You can't do that, Paul. In fact, you know what? I think he was suspended from last week, wasn't he? And he's voting twice again this week.
We're gonna have to suspend you for a week. You can only vote once.
Ronnie has this whole criteria.
This isn't the 2020 presidential election.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can only vote once, and if you're not dead, I mean, if you are dead, you can't vote at all. So, yeah. David Pisano says they're still counting in Georgia, so we have to wait. We're going to stop the voting right here at 6-5. I'm ahead as it is right now. So,
I know you think you run the rules committee.
What I have the tally sheet, and so he who keeps
it's
score,
very technical. Can you show that again? It's very technical. Look, no, get it so we can see it.
There's a bunch of hash marks on there.
Put it in front of your face. There it is.
There we go.
There you go.
There's some hash marks.
There's
on there.
the technology behind our recap. One stroke of the pen, and I could be ahead.
Oh, let's see. Okay, Kathy Garcia, she gave it. I'm calling it right here.
Real
It's
Fandemic says
7-5.
Lou.
Okay, then it's 7-6.
Vinny Stacks says he's mailing his in.
He went with the mail-in ballot.
Kathy Garcia, who retracted her Lou vote, is now going with Ronnie. It must have been something I said. All right, I concede. You win it,
It was
Ronnie.
close.
I know.
It was close. I thought you had me there with the leprechaun. I was serious. I was worried about that.
Well, you know, it seemed as though you danced around leprechaun.
Well, it's because there's one on the box of Irish Lucky Charms.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And they are magically delicious.
And they're a rainbow of colors too.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
All
right.
Can argue with that.
We got to get out of here, Ronnie.
Yep.
Lots of stuff to do today. Let's see. Jim Black says Lou wins.
Oh, sorry. Not this time. Not this time.
All right. Fair enough. We're going to get out of here, and we're going to see y'all next Sunday morning. And we will bring you up to date on the very latest things going on in the world of interest to men. This show is called Men Are So Smart. The acronym is M.A.S.S, M-A-S-S. And M.A.S.S is always held on Sunday mornings. So until next Sunday morning, I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And we'll see you next time on the show.
Yeah. Say goodbye, Lou.
Goodbye, Lou.
perfect timing. My AirPods have 5% charge left.
Okay.
Ooh.
Vinny Stacks says, "Good show, boomers."
He's not wrong.
No. It should be a good race today from Las Vegas. The Bush brothers are from Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
Melanie says, "Fun show, boys." Thank you, Melanie.
She's great.
Yeah.
Hey.
What?
Hey.
What?
Dogs.
Oh.
Stop that. Stop that. Are we good? Let me see. Let me turn up the sound here. Make sure.